right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. It's Thursday morning, and y'all see Bobby back there, man. Finna go make a 1500 real quick. Yeah, I don't even know how long it's gonna take us. I want to say about 4 hours, but that's really a little bit deceiving because there's a lot of time in getting the machine ready and all. You know, yesterday I had to spend an hour going and getting the brush cutter, fueling the machine up, and then another 30-45 minutes, you know, lubing the machine up and chaining it down to the trailer with the attachments that I need for today. So what I got today is I got, of course, the T190. I got the brush cutter, the bush hog brush cutter. I got two what I call brush cutters. You got the one for the Bobcat, and then you also got the bicycle handle brush cutter. You know, the $1,300 weed eater. Yeah, of course, it's a weed eater on roids for sure. Okay, so I'm pulling out. It's 8:15. I can't get started over there until 9. You know, that's kind of what there's kind of unwritten rule in that particular neighborhood. So yeah, that's where we at, man. That, and I got Zach. He just pulled up. He's gonna go do a 1 yard in front of him coming over to where I'm at. And see, I like doing things like that because the properties that are on this route, and that's another thing about, you know, working for customers in the same database, man. Y'all know that that's what I really like. I'd much rather work for an existing customer, you know, and especially when they're on a regular route. So today I would be on that, yesterday I would have been on that route to do the yards over there. Well, a couple of them, they don't move to, you know, well, not regular anymore. And that's the understanding that we have around the middle of September. Some of the yards I just stopped doing on regular. So I usually cut it one time at the very beginning of September, and then there's a slew of customers that after that first cut in September, I don't normally excuse me, I don't normally go back to some of the customers, not all of them, but to some of them. But you're able to push things around a little bit more because everything is not so tight schedule wise. Because, you know, so yards that I would have do yesterday, I didn't do yesterday, obviously. And I'm able to push them to today because I knew today I was going to be right back down here with the Bobcat. So this is a job right here down here that I'm going to do today, y'all, that I've been wanting to do for years. They have always found somebody else to do it besides me. A lot of times the customer don't know my capabilities, you know, on you know, all the work and things that I can do. They see me on a lawnmower or cutting grass, maintaining the lawn for $60, and they just assume that's all I do. You know, why would he, you know, and they're thinking, and I get it, their thinking is, why would he be cutting grass for $60 when he's got a skid steer sitting at home with all the attachments? A lot of, you know, I mean, you have to ask yourself that. So, but see, what people don't understand is where I'm at. I don't know about everywhere else, and where I'm at and my capabilities and everything. My first and foremost thing is mowing the lawns in the summertime. Now, I'm not saying it'll always be like that. Sometimes, you know, I may shift eventually to doing more or all Bobcat work. I don't know. But I don't know that my T190 is going to do very good running every single day. And the good thing about it is it's paid for, and it's been paid for years. So I don't have to run it every single day. So you get a new machine, you got to run it every single day. And I am supposed to be getting a new machine. They said November, so we'll see. But this job pays $1,500. I'm gonna have, I'm gonna have about, we'll say, I got $100 in fuel in the machine, gas to get there, blah blah, blah blah blah. I'm gonna say $400 in expenses, and that includes the labor. Because I'll give Zach about $120 for 4 hours or so, something like that. And yeah, and then we'll continue on, man. The good thing about doing the Bobcat work too is I'm not burning up. To get $1,500 in the lawn, mowing lawns, well, that's a day and a half or 2 days of actual mowing, and I'm getting all that in one morning. And the wear and tear on the trucks and stuff is not nearly as bad. The wear and tear on me is not as bad. Of course, if the Bobcat goes down for any reason, something happens with the Bobcat today, well, then you're not making nothing. Nothing. If you're out mowing grass and something happens to the lawnmowers, normally it's not a major thing. Normally it's something that I can fix, or can fix for $100 or whatever. There is no $100 fix on the skid steer that I know of. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that would only cost $100, and I can't think of nothing. So you got to weigh that, man. Well, Ray, how come you don't run the Bobcat all the time, man? How come you don't just run the Bobcat every day for getting the mowing? Because I got mowers, and I'm going where the money is. If I had a lot of Bobcat work, like there's 3 Bobcats running right here at this construction site. If I had that kind of work, well, then that'd be different. But see, the guys running these Bobcats over here, they work for a company. And the company pays them a wage. See, I don't want to get paid a wage to run a Bobcat for a company. I want to run it and be an owner operator, and that's a little bit more. It's a little bit more strategic to get into the work, because you gotta have a construction business to get into some of this work, and I don't. I'm mowing grass. But I can make enough money with the Bobcat freestyling, as long as I keep my expenses down and I own the machine myself. I can, all that, y'all. I said all of that. All right, y'all. So, yeah. So they didn't have the stuff I normally buy, but the same company makes it. The one I normally buy is the green, and it's the bigger container, but they didn't have any. This is a little bit different, but it serves as the same. It's the same thing. So yeah. Yeah, y'all. But I've been using this stuff right here, and I got some oil too. What else we got? Yeah. But the reason I buy this stuff right here is because when I first got the skid steer, I was on a job, and I first got it. It was like maybe the second job I did for money, and I was pushing over trees and stuff, and I was just familiarizing myself with the machine and everything. I didn't know a lot. I didn't know anything actually, now that I look back on it. I thought I knew enough to get by, and apparently I did, but it's all been a learning process, everything, So when the second job that I did with the skid steer, I was, the guy was paying me $150 per tree, and they were those Bradford pear trees. He was paying me $150 a tree to knock them over, dig them out, and take them to the woods on his property. And I'm like, cool, sweet, man. And so I grabbed the first tree, you know, and I don't know, they weren't huge or nothing, and they break real easy, you know, those pear trees. So I grabbed the first one, and I break a few of the limbs off to carry them to the woods. Then I pushed the tree over. We didn't even use a chainsaw, you know. And I'm like, man, this is gonna be easy. So I did like 2 or 3 of them, right? I said, damn, man, I'm already at $450. I ain't even been there a hot hour yet. And I'm like, hell yeah. You know, that's my thinking. So then when I'm moving on, there's about 30 of these damn trees, right? So I'm moving on up the line, and this is right before I started doing the videos. I'm moving on up the row. It's a big row of them, right? And so I'm moving on up the line, and I'm just running the machine, you know, best I know how at the time. And I get, I don't know, probably to about the 5th or 6th one, and then we're getting closer to the grill and their patio and, you know, and all that, right? And so, and the trees are getting a little bit bigger, you know. So what I do is I go ahead and you know, get to starting on the next one, on the next tree. So I grab it, break it off and everything. So I get to the trunk of it, and it's a little bit in an odd spot, you know. It's kind of on a little incline ditch, top of a ditch, you know, and I couldn't really get to it from like I was the other ones. So I was having to, you know, maneuver a little bit more than I had been on the other ones, okay? And so I power up everything, and I'm fixing to grab it and pull it and back toward me, and then push it on over. Well, let me make this turn. So I got up to it, and I'm pushing it and pulling it and just, you know, doing this with it, right? And I said, okay, I'm gonna push it and I'm gonna catty corner it away from the grill, right? So I get behind it, and I'm pushing on it hard, and it's starting to go, but I need to knock it that way a little bit so it don't hit the grill. And so I do a maneuver with the Bobcat, and the Bobcat lost power. I mean, it actually went from, you know, full RPMs to well, sputtering and shit, and all right there, and the tree fell and hit the man's grill. Yeah. And it didn't damage the grill a lot because the limbs at the top of the tree caught it from hitting the ground, but it did damage his fence, but the fence was coming out too anyway. But I realized then that there's something wrong with the Bobcat fuel. And I had already experienced another little issue, but of course I didn't know anything. And I'm like, because when I first got the Bobcat, I was taking it everywhere. You know, getting firewood up with it. I was doing everything with it, right? And I'd experienced this issue before, and I didn't know what it was. But when I started putting this additive in it, you know, it's never done it since. Never. So okay, y'all. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the camera up on the tripod right here, where y'all can see me go do this area right here. You want to make sure that you don't run over that thing, because then you ain't making no money. Okay. See, the sun is like going to be right in the way here. But y'all see all that, man? Yeah. Okay, y'all. So y'all see that this is about 20 minutes right here, y'all. A couple things that we're gonna have to do that I see. Zach's gonna have to run the bicycle handle brush cutter up against this wall because there's a lot of silt fence, and I'm not trying to get the silt fence wrapped up into this thing. Now I don't know if Pops wants me to snatch the silt fence out, but he's gonna have to do something with it if we do. So this is just a lower part, and I'll have Zach with the brush cutter come in here and kind of walk along here and get it a little bit lower, and then we're going to spray it with some aqua spray that I got. Yeah, and that's all that's included in the price here. Biggest thing I see is a bunch of big rock, and there's all kind of rock up in here. So I'm gonna want Zach to, hey Zach, grab that harness in the back. It's in the back seat of my truck for the brush cutter. I got the brush cutter, I just don't have the harness. But Zach will probably work over here maybe 2 or 3 hours, and that'll be it. A lot of it's gonna be putting rock in the bucket. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna put all these rock in my flat bucket, and we're gonna put them to the side somewhere where I can mow this with a mower and not hit nothing. It's pretty clean right here. It's real bumpy, but the only thing they'll have to pay extra for is the pond bank. But they could literally spray this bank with aqua spray, and it would be nice. So as I look down the line here, you know, on the next property over, I've done some work for them before too, on the mowing. I would not be surprised if he don't come out here and ask me what I'll charge to clear that bank off. Because man, there's no point in having a pond like this if you can't walk down to the water, right? No point in it. All right. Okay, man, so let's check it out, man. So the biggest thing I see here, Zach, is all the rock. Yeah, rock. Because see, what the goal here today is not just to cut it, but to make it where we can put a mower on it at some point. Yeah. Right? So I'm gonna, you see how I got the pond bank where very little for you to do on the pond bank, but you'll have to, you know. I can almost weed eat the rest of it. Well, you're not gonna be able to weed eat this woody stuff, dude. No, but I mean like the majority of it. Like, you get the brush cutter, you see that sticky stuff down there? Yeah. Yeah, I see it. Then you can just go across here with that brush cutter, and you know, that's one thing to do. Yeah. Another thing to do is, look at that big ass worm. Damn, it's a big old worm, ain't it? Yeah. I'm surprised you can see shit like that with your glasses, man. Mine are dark. My glasses. My glasses are top of the line though. Yeah. Okay, so. Yours were free. Mine were free. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is a factor. Uh-oh. What's up, rabbit? Right. Ray's you don't see the little rabbit? Ray's nature show. Right. But up in here, there's silt fence. Okay. So I'm not going to. We get the silt fence wrapped up in the Bobcat, dude. We might be down an hour trying to get it out. Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly what. Don't worry. I'm gonna bring the flat bucket over here, And I'm gonna want you to throw all the rock that you see in a bucket. You're gonna spend time fucking with rock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It'd almost be cool to like get the rock and put it and use it somewhere else, man.
Well, yeah, well, we'll pile it up somewhere where I know where they all are. See, look. Right here. Look all over here. See, yeah, we want to make it where we can run a mower in here.
I know you might actually have to use the bucket and like kind of pick some of them up out of the dirt. They're gonna be embedded somewhere.
Yeah. But you can get a lot of the little ones. I'm just trying to give you a list of things to do. Because
there's gonna be a bunch of little shit like
yeah,
that,
but you can throw little ones in the water.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean.
Do that.
Yeah, there's a lot. And you see how there's a metal stake right here?
What are we gonna do with this silk fence?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that, because if we pull the silk fence up,
yeah,
then they gotta do something with it.
Right. Dispose of it.
You know, I don't know what the plan is for that, but you see I kind of went.
This side of the wall too?
Yeah, the whole hill, dude.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought, yeah.
Oh yeah. Everything. We're gonna be over here for about probably till around 1.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
10 now, so
And if
3 or
we,
4 hours, yeah.
I mean, this right here, dude, is not even 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't even run. I mean, by the time I got, I had to stop and get some diesel fuel for the machine.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop, not diesel fuel, but some of the additive. And then I had to grease the machine. And then I had to put hydraulic fluid in the machine. Had to unchain it. I mean, and then I had to bring everything down here.
I know, yeah, that takes time.
So everything,
yeah.
like, and then I done cut this whole bank. You couldn't even see this bank, dude.
I know, it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I ain't seen those snakes. I was looking for bee holes and shit.
I know.
You know, that's what I'm
hate
looking
bees,
for.
don't we?
Yeah.
Landscapers hate bees.
Yeah. Well, you get on that machine, get close to that bank, and then bees get on you. What do?
Right.
Well, you're just gonna get stung.
Right.
Stung up. So, and then look, the property line goes. So, I'm definitely gonna want now, and you'll have to figure out the order and what you want to do some of this stuff. So, but I know we're gonna have to get the rock up. That's gonna be the #1 thing to do. So, yeah. And then I'm gonna call them and see what he wants me to do with the silk fence.
Right.
Because if he wants me to rip it up, I can do that, but I'm not hauling it off.
Yeah.
See, and that's, you know, it really needs to be ripped up. Up in here, there's some great big rock. You see, look, see that big rock?
Yeah.
See the little pile of debris right here, right there. See that
Right
big
there.
chunk right there?
Probably doing that
Yeah.
right.
So probably gonna want you, if we, you know, if things work out down here, I'm gonna want you to come along the back side of this wall with that brush cutter. You're not gonna be able to cut that with a weed eater.
No, I know.
I mean, and if you got that thing strapped on, it's not that much. I mean, I know it's a little heavier than a weed eater, but
I was saying that stuff down there, you wouldn't be able to hit it with a brush cutter because it's so small. Some of that stuff.
yeah. Well, I got the brush blade on there. I don't have I got the blade that's made for brush. That's made to cut this shit like this, you know.
Yeah.
It's made to cut this shit. And
Yeah, I've seen you tear up some big shit with that.
with well, it doesn't have a blade on. It's a blade. It's called a brush blade.
Yeah.
It's a $50 blade. So,
Right.
and that thing's powerful. I know you know that.
Yeah.
It ain't the same blade that I got the triangle blade on it. It ain't the same blade as you use over at Brett's, because we're not cutting trees.
Yeah.
We're just a brush blade. All that right there is coming out. I don't know what they're gonna do with the silk fence. I'm gonna put you on time lapse. I really ain't got time to play with y'all, man. So, yeah, that. So this right here, to me, is the easy part. We got the hard part done. Don't that look a lot better? Yeah, that looks great. I got Zach going along the wall. I'm fixing to get up in here with the skid steer, with the brush cutter, and shoot, we ought to build I ought to knock all that right there out in an hour at least, you know. 'Cause we're not going to be doing a lot of grading in there. In here, I dug that stump out too that was in the way. So, see, now I see this, so I know I can put a lawnmower in here. It ain't perfect, but it's lawnmower ready. So as long as we don't put no. Hey Zach! Woo! 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 Hey, you want me to come through there with a brush cutter, give you a place to walk?
What?
You want me to come through there with the brush cutter, take you a break, and let me let me come through there with a brush cutter, and that'll give you a place to walk.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can see a lot better.
Yeah, there were 2 or 3 big rocks here. You'll see them.
All right. Zach killing it out here today, y'all. Did you get a check from Ghost?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's in truck.
Brush cutter's running good. Hanging up out of the ground. So I ended up digging it up, and look how big it is, man. That's the kind of rocks that are over here. They're all over the place. And you never know what you're going to get. You might get a piece of Stone Mountain. You ain't careful. So we'll see if we can, see if I can get y'all a video of me trying to pick it up. Okay guys, so that's a wrap over here, man. What time is it? 12:50. So 9 o'clock to 12:50. We're done, and Zach's wrapping up the yard. Y'all saw I put the mower out here for a minute. I'm gonna dig up the big rock right here in the middle right here. I'm gonna dig it up, and then I'm gonna load up and get up out of here. But it looks really good, y'all. Y'all gotta admit. Yeah, y'all. And they call this work? Is that what they call this, y'all? Work? This just doesn't seem like work to me. This is country boy having fun with a piece of paid for equipment, earning that $1,500 in, well, 10, 11, 12, once in 4 hours, just like I thought. And we went up and beyond. We even did some extra stuff over here I didn't even charge him for. I ripped up that silt fence, and that wasn't part of the deal. And we put that silt fence in his trash can. So I mean, that's a little job in itself. I also dug up that stump down there, and I made it where it's a little bit smoother to get down to the water. I dug up a lot of stuff on the bank, so you know, yeah. But that's a wrap over here, man. And I'm gonna dig these two little rock out right here and throw them in the bucket, and then I'm gonna go down there and grab my grapple and load up and get a check, y'all. Y'all know what it is. It's that check. Yeah. So 1630 today. 65 on this yard, 65 on another yard, and 1500 on this cut. So that's 1630. We'll say 600 goes to expenses, and Ray made $1,000 in 4 hours. 600, and we'll say $630 toward the expenses. That's enough for fuel, for fill both trucks up, fill the Bobcat up, fill the lawnmowers up, and pay the help, insurance, everything right there, y'all. So in 4 hours of my time. So yeah, it's time to chill. It's a hot day. We got a big day tomorrow as well. So that's where we're at, man. Hope all you guys be safe, drink plenty of fluid, and get ready for the winter, man. It's Ray. I kick it.